Harry is extremely annoying. Oh my gosh, like, what the heck? Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kiera, aka Kiera's Bookshelf. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I hope you stay a while, and if you're returning, welcome back, because I feel like this is going to be a really exciting video. So for this week's video, I decided to do another reading vlog, but this time I want to read Manacled by Sin Lee Yu, I believe, and that is like a Dramione fan fiction. I've been wanting to get into Dramione fan fiction for a while now. I love Harry Potter, I love Draco, I love Hermione, and I just felt like it was perfect. And I actually had no idea that like AO3 was like just really big with like fan fiction stuff. So I happened to find Manacled from TikTok, and I decided I wanted to give it a shot. Now, I will say that I have already started reading it. I think I got to like chapter 6 or something. But on here, because it came from AO3, it doesn't exactly tell me how many pages I have. And I'm only like 22% in. So I figured it could be a good time to kind of start this. So if you don't know what Manacled is about, basically Harry and Ron are dead and Voldemort has won the war. There's no more Order of the Phoenix or anything, which I think is kind of cool. I heard it compared to like, it's like Harry Potter meets A Handmaid's Tale. I haven't seen A Handmaid's Tale, but if you have, then I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And I will say that this series is pretty dark. Like, I wasn't expecting that. Where I'm at in the story, like, I feel like not much has happened, but a lot has happened, which is another reason why I wanted to kind of film this. Like, I just kind of want to get my reactions to everything and stuff, and I just think it will be really fun. So I'm going to spoil a little bit up to where I am in the story, just for anyone interested, and if you're not, you can definitely skip ahead to the vlogging portion. But so far in the story, Hermione has been assigned to Draco Malfoy's house. His father is dead. I believe his mother's also dead or something like that. And Draco is kind of like Voldemort's right-hand man, I guess. Like, he's called the High Reeve in this one, and he's basically in charge of executing people. So I think it's kind of interesting to kind of like see this type of alternate universe of Harry Potter, because it's definitely not what I was expecting. A lot of people from the Harry Potter books and like in the series in general are like dead, and it's so dark. Like, Hermione's pretty much alone, and I'm interested to see as the story goes on why that is. I know that there's going to be like a bunch of flashbacks and like things like that later, but it seems so far in the story they're kind of just giving breadcrumbs of Hermione's life with Draco, and it's interesting, to say the least. So basically, Hermione's only job at Draco's house right now is to get pregnant by him, because she was forced into a repopulation program that was mandatory by Voldemort. He wants pureblood wizards for the new generation and half-bloods if he has no other choice. I guess like it's just like this weird thing. He wants the generation, like the next generation, to never know about the Order or like, you know, anything before him winning, and I think that's so weird. So Draco's one and only job is to get Hermione pregnant, and he's very unwilling, but at the same time he's willing to do it because he's scared of Voldemort and because he follows him. And I will say those types of scenes are not enjoyable, because I'm not going to say like they can be uncomfortable at times because Hermione does not want it and doesn't enjoy it. So other than that, like I feel like the rest of the story is okay, but that's the only part of the stories that kind of make me feel icky. But yeah, I'm interested to see kind of what is going to happen in this. Draco has a wife that he does not like. In fact, his wife pretty much does whatever she wants. He has a separate relationship of her own, and so it seems like Draco doesn't really care about anything. Like, he's very cold in this one. So I pretty much said everything I believe from what I remember in the story so far. So if that kind of interests you, then, please feel free to stick around because I am really excited for this. So Draco's wife, Astoria, is literally crazy. Like, I think she's officially like cracked. Like, I don't understand. So I am officially on chapter 21, and she just tried to take Hermione's eye out. Like, oh my god. I think like I'm oh my gosh, like it what the heck? So basically a while back Hermione called Astoria cheating on Draco, and she told him, and he didn't really seem to care, so she kind of just let it be and just assumed they had a weird relationship. But for some reason now, like I assume this is like days later, maybe weeks, I'm not sure, but now Astoria is kind of like getting jealous because Draco has been trying to perform his duties so he can make Hermione like have kids and then eventually get out of there, and I guess she feels really jealous, and for some reason she feels like Hermione is like purposely trying to make Draco spend time with her. So she just literally grabbed like a fork or something and just like attacked her and literally stabbed her in the eye, like stabbed Hermione. And I guess like from the angle, or I don't know, like the way they're describing it is really, really bad. They think she might lose an eye. And so it's just crazy. And I feel like this is kind of the point where I feel like I'm the most engaged in the story. So it's just crazy. So yeah, on chapter 21, I really hope this is focused. And I feel like now I'm really excited to keep reading because I just kind of want to know what happened to her eye, and if Draco is going to like get rid of this woman now, It's crazy. Okay, so I am officially about 60% into the story, and I kind of have a lot to talk about. The first thing is Harry is extremely annoying in this book, and I know this is a Hermione book, and so it focuses heavily more on Hermione and Draco, but it's still just, I feel like I hate every time that he pops up. basically. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with him. So, basically, in one of the flashbacks, Harry is pretty much against using dark magic, even though they are losing this war bad. Like, it's to the point where they're getting raided and kind of like and caught off guard with it. Like, they're being ambushed. Voldemort is just 3 steps ahead, and Harry still thinks that good will prevail just by using the same methods that he's using. And I understand he's supposed to be the good character and like that's just how he is, but Hermione is pretty much like, you know, all of that good needs to go out the window now, and we need to fight fire with bigger fire and use dark magic and use Crucio and just anything we can to win, because these Death Eaters are lethal and they will kill them. And I feel like Harry is so in denial, and he's like in a bubble, and it's so frustrating. Harry basically believes that if he uses dark magic, then he is just as bad as Voldemort. And I completely disagree with that, because he's still doing it for a good cause. I think there's kind of like a fear there. Like, Harry believes if he uses dark magic, then it will do something to his soul. And they have said multiple times that doing dark magic over time can do that. But I feel like right now it's like desperate times calls for desperate measures, kind of. So it's like they don't really have a choice, if that makes sense. And so I definitely agree with Hermione there, and her like frustration with it, because it feels like no one's listening to her. It's awful. I'm really loving where the story is going right now as far as the romance between Hermione and Draco, because it's 100% a slow burn, and I love how realistic it is. And I don't know, like, I feel like that's the best part of the story. I think going into it, I was kind of afraid it would be like too cliche and it would kind of sound like a Wattpad book or something like that. But like, I love that this is written so professionally that, you know, sometimes I forget that this is not the real story, pretty much, and I wish it was. So in flashback 28, there was a quote from Hermione to Draco that was like so sad, but like I also really loved it. And it goes, "I don't want to always be alone," she choked out. "I want to love someone without feeling like they know it'll end up hurting them. Harry was my first friend. I always wanted friends, but I was always too odd, too bookish, too awkward. I was always alone. No one wanted to be my real friend. Harry was the first person who let me be his friend. I thought we would always be friends, but now I have to push him away to protect him and Ron and my parents. And now there's nobody. I have to love everyone from a distance, and I'm so lonely." So basically, I think it's interesting to see how the war is affecting Hermione, because she doesn't really talk about it. I think with her being a healer, she kind of just bottles up her emotions and just focuses on making everyone else feel better. And there's pretty much no one there to care for her and ask if she's okay. And I don't know, like, I think that's so sad, because I think it also says a lot about her friendship with Harry and Ron, because they're like more of a duo than a trio, and I think it's so sad. Even in the movies, it always kind of seemed like that. I will also say 60% into the story, like, Draco and Hermione have kissed, and it was fantastic. I loved the build-up of it, and, like, there's just so much, like, tension, but, like, in a good way. So yeah, like, I'm really loving this story, and I want to keep reading, and I absolutely plan to keep reading it tonight. It's just crazy that I'm 62% into the story, and I have no idea when I'm going to finish it. It's like 6:52 p.m. now. and it is a completely different day than the last clip that was shown. So I think for the rest of the night I'm going to just read more, and I'll try to get footage of that more tomorrow because I just really want to lay down and like I'm already in my bed. But yeah, like I said, I am excited to see where the story is going. This is definitely going to be a 5-star read for me. So yeah, if you're interested, then keep watching. I just wanted to hop on here really quick and say that I really like the way Draco is written in this book. I feel like even in the original Harry Potter series, I've always really liked Draco, and he was always super interesting to me, and I always wanted to know more about him, and I really liked how the author wrote him in such a realistic way and in such a like complex way that I feel like it's kind of hard to hate him once you reach the flashbacks, and I think that was the point, and I get that, but yeah, like I don't know, maybe it's the fact that he's working as a double agent, or like I don't know, but there's just something about how like tortured he is that is interesting to me. I don't know if that I don't know. I feel like that sounds awful, but I don't know. I think he's definitely a more interesting character compared to Hermione 100%. I kind of hate that Hermione's kind of fleshed out to be just like one way. Like I don't know. It's like even in this universe, she's kind of can be insufferable at times, and I know that sounds really bad, but it's true. Like I feel like she kind of hides behind her role in like the war, like as I guess she would be a nurse. I don't even know, like they didn't actually call her a nurse, or they just always talked about how she worked at the hospital. But I don't know, like it definitely makes me look at her differently because of that. And how she is now working with Draco, and I like the fact that it seems like she's kind of becoming more aware of what's happening in the war from Harry's perspective, and the Order, but I don't know, I feel like she's so judgmental compared to Draco, and I think that's the only thing I wish would change. Like it's just her personality is not my favorite at all. Yeah, I feel like that's really it. It's just something that kind of bothers me at times. Like I feel like she has a little bit of a character reset every now and then when it comes to like her values and stuff, and it's really weird. So it's literally the next day, and I just realized that I completely forgot to talk about like the death scene where like Voldemort killed Harry and Ron. I was looking back on my clips and I was like, wait, like I can't find anything, and I could have sworn I talked about it. I don't know. That was really weird. So I'm just going to talk about it here. Basically, I did not expect it to be so gruesome, I guess. Yeah. Like, I really think Voldemort has really, like, in the Harry Potter universe, Voldemort was always talked about as being dangerous and stuff, but I love that in this book, he's actually like shown as kind of being really unhinged and psycho. Like, he literally cast a spell on Harry, and I think it made him like wither away and die in front of like everyone. And it was so gruesome because then he was like hung up for everyone to see, like to witness the Order's failures. And then he literally, I don't remember what he did to Ron, but he literally did something similar. Like, so both of them were just up on display, basically, like trying, like basically showing like how the Order failed. And I feel like the only thing that I wish I would have saw in this book is more of a reaction from the other Order members and from Hermione, because all she could really do was kind of like sit and watch. She didn't really like she reacted to it, but it wasn't what I was expecting. Like, she kind of just watched it and was like, in her inner monologue, you know, like she was devastated, but she didn't really act like it. I don't know. So I think that's the only thing. I wish it would have had like a more emotional impact to the story and to Hermione. But overall, like, I mean, I kind of knew it was coming just from the way Harry was acting in these books. I honestly feel like he wasn't even trying. So that's it. And now I am just going to get back to reading, and I hopefully will finish this vlog today, which is really exciting. So I have officially finished Manacled, and I have a lot to talk about. I literally wrote everything down because I feel like so much happened and I just really needed to keep track of it. So basically, Draco's dad comes back to the manor. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think he would ever show up. And if he hadn't shown up at all in this entire book, I wouldn't have been upset. So take that as you will. So Hermione is officially pregnant. So it was actually like really ironic that Draco's dad showed up, because I don't know, like he pretty much showed up to see how Draco was doing. Basically Voldemort sent him, so he wasn't doing it on his own, like trying to be a good dad or anything. So it's really weird. So around like the time he got back, actually, like it was kind of perfect timing. Draco's wife, Astoria, the one I said in the beginning, like tried to gouge Hermione's eyes out, she's just been gone, like, since then, really. Turns out she was in France the whole time, just like gallivanting, living her life. And I guess she like forgot she was married to him or something, because his dad's pretty much like, what are you doing? She's in France, why aren't you with her? And you got Hermione here, she was just sitting in the background, just standing there. Like, it was really weird. Apparently, like, Hermione and Draco have been talking about like imagining a world without Voldemort in it, which I'm sure a lot of people did. And I don't know how, but they tried to get his dad in on it so that they could all kill him together, especially because with Draco being a high rank in his like army, like Voldemort would never suspect a thing. And I thought that was kind of cool. Like, I thought that was really interesting. So I was really excited for that. Turns out the plan completely backfired, and Lucius ends up kidnapping Hermione instead. Honestly, I think the story was so good, and then it just slowly like started going like this. Which is, it's so random. His dad kidnaps Hermione, tries to kill her, and then Draco has to save her. And then in the midst of that, he ends up burning down the building that his father is in. like as they're like trying to run out, and they basically made it look like a freak accident where Draco and his father died. So it wasn't planned for Draco to seem like he died in it, but it was kind of great because it ended up getting him out of Voldemort's army, and they were finally able to run away. I kind of liked it though, because it showed like a newspaper article, and it was like, oh, father and son killed in like this huge thing. And I think the crazy part is we never see Voldemort's reaction to this. I don't know why, like, I kind of would have wanted to see that, because I feel like I would imagine him not believing it or something. I don't know. So that happens, and then it jumps to the epilogue. I really, really liked the epilogue because immediately Hermione is reunited with Ginny Weasley, and I feel like it was so wholesome to see them like happy together, because every time you see Ginny in the book, it was during the flashbacks and clearly during like that horrible time of Voldemort's like reign. So I thought that was cool. Because Harry is dead, Ginny is a single mom to their son, James Potter. And I thought that was really cute how Hermione was like, oh, like Harry wanted to name him after his dad. What I was really surprised about is actually Ginny is the one who killed Voldemort in the end. So they're finally free. Like, but I was not expecting that at all. Like, I don't know who I was expecting. Honestly, if Voldemort never died in the story, I wouldn't have been upset. But I wasn't upset by this. But I was very, very surprised when, like, they showed the newspaper article and it literally said, like, Voldemort was killed by Ginny Weasley. That was it was really, really cool. Draco and Hermione also end up having a girl, and I think her name is pronounced Aurora, which is really, really cute. They even, like, included a picture of them in the end, like, as a big happy family, and it was really, really nice. And it was cute because basically, like, she's kind of gonna get to grow up with James, and it seems like they're gonna be, like, a big family, and I don't know, like, it was kind of like a built-in cousin situation. Like, it was really, really cute, and I kind of liked seeing their dynamic as a family for a little bit, because it wasn't shown long, which I will say I do wish that was shown, because it's like they're finally happy in this epilogue. Give me more after all that suffering, you know? So overall, I really, really liked this book. I liked Draco and Hermione's relationship in the flashbacks. Before they show the flashbacks, it was very weird to me, and I get that the point of it was to show the flashbacks and everything would make sense, but I do wish it wasn't as, like, brutal in the beginning, I guess. Yeah, but I loved how this author kind of made medicine work in this, like, story. It wasn't like a poof of the wand or a flick of the wand and then you get it. So I thought that was really, really cool. So this has been my Manacled reading vlog. Thank you so much to anyone and everyone who watches this. It took me a really, really long time to film this, and I'm just so happy that it's finally out. And I don't know what I'm gonna read next, but I have so much stuff planned for this channel, and yeah, I'm really, really happy. So thank you so much for watching.